Welcome back, folks, to Age of Lemuria. This is episode, what is it, 22? Yes, I think this is episode 22. Holy crap. Uno, what are you doing with your life, man? You're gaming or your life away. Don't you have anything better to do? I swear. Hanging out with me and exploring the awesome world of Lemuria with dragons and dungeons and all types of things. Gosh, what are you doing, man? What are you doing?
Well, it's the last week of holidays, so
Oh no.
gotta make it count.
That is true. All right. So I'm Lucan, the DM and the host. You can see me on Dragon Prophecy Studios, blah, 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 blah. You've seen my plugs. Just go watch my shit. Uno, you got anything to add?
I'm Uno. I play character.
Who are you playing? Yeah, that is a good question. Who are you playing?
I play Adron Caesarian, wizard.
Who's that? I mean, who's that character? Who is that? Is that a new person? Like, nah, he's got some experience under his belt. What level is he? Good lord.
He is a level 7 wizard.
Not just any wizard. He's got a special school.
Yeah, he's a diviner.
Yeah, yes. So, are we ready to get started?
Yeah.
All right.
Last time we left off with a party, I think.
Tell me what happened last time. What was going on? What happened? Why are we all celebrating now?
So we just came back from this great expedition to rescue a bunch of slaves. We killed a slave master, chilled out with a mountain, and then came back. We had to hand over all the gold we made.
Well, I mean, you could have handed over several things, but you chose to hand over the gold, which was very generous of you. Very kind.
Yeah. Well,
although
now the population likes me, so...
the city of Ravenhaven, yes. You have the Slave Moor Slayer title. Like, people know you. You have some renown. Like, people know who you are now because you are the murderer of the slave master, who is a villain. So you're the man who killed the Moor. Yeah, you have some reputation.
Oh, man.
You are the Moor man. So this party, right? Last time we left you were dancing with Aura and Jasira, and you are the belle of the ball. Like, people are dancing and singing and like having a good time. Like, people are enjoying this. As the music gets louder and louder, people are like clapping and singing along, and Jasira comes up to you and wants to dance because you are currently dancing with Aura. And she's like, hey, dance with me.
Okay.
Aura, like, smiles and bows out as her sister comes up and is like, yeah, dance. Go ahead and roll me a perception as your owl keeps watch.
Come on, Al, don't fail me now. Party is a great opportunity for ambush.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what I see.
Yeah, you are. I mean, the owl's watching you and Jasira dancing, and it's absolutely beautiful. This ballet, like, everybody's watching you guys, right? Even your own familiar, who's like from another plane of existence, is like, wow, he's a damn good dancer. Maybe that's why you've got mad skills, is because you're like watching yourself in third person, right? So as you're like dancing with this elf, right? You're like, oh, I should do this. I should dip her. Tell me what type of folk dance that you are doing. during this time.
I don't know any folk dance.
What are you dancing? What jig are you putting on? I mean, just describe it. Just describe it. You don't have to like say, "Oh, it is the rumba."
I don't know, like some sort of dancing with a partner, I guess.
Sure.
Sounds like there's a lot of clapping going on.
I think you need
in the background.
Dance. Dancing is a good skill. Dancing's a good skill.
True, I guess.
Yeah, but from your last roll, he rolled a 15. You guys are cutting a rug, right? And everybody's paying attention to you. I think this is a good cutaway. While we see you guys dancing, we see Valseth climbing up the stairs as he leaves the party. And he comes back into the chamber room, right? And you see out of the shadows this dark elf approach Valseth. And she says, "Is this how it's going to be? Is this man going to be your heroes and champion?" And Valseth looks at her and he's like, "Of course." And she shrugs and she's like, "Humans always seem to get good reputations, even with you dragons." And she's like, it doesn't matter to me." She's like, "It should. Your life depends on it as much as mine." He like frowns at this, and the drow's like, "Don't worry. I'll make sure you get what you need as well." And then it comes back to the party. And we see Adrian dancing with Jasira. What do you get? Oh no! Oh no! Let's try to refresh. As this always seemed to happen. Welcome back. Maybe? I see you, but you appear to be stuck.
Welcome back.
Yay, there we go. Okay, I was like, and we come back to Jessera and Adrian dancing. They're having a good time. Sir Stewart, the noble's like, oh, jolly good sir. Duchess Ariel, would you care to dance? And she kind of like shoos him away, and she comes up to you, the Duchess, and she's like, "I would like this dance."
If you're sure.
So Sir Stewart's like all puffed up and everything else. But the Duchess takes your hand and go ahead and try to impress her with your performance skill. As you and her are dancing a different jig. Let's see if you
Nat 1.
Yep, probably. Get good. So she quickly notices from what you were dancing. She's like, "Oh, don't worry. Sit down, honey. Don't hurt yourself. I'm sure you're exhausted." The Count starts laughing ha ha ha, see, these commoners have no talent. They can do the riff-raff dancing, but they have no skill when it comes to the ball. Come here, darling, come here. And Sir Stewart tries to outdo you, naturally, right? Even though it's your party, and for you, he is a nobleman, and he's the one throwing the party, right? So he's going to attempt to outdo you. 1d20. 5. So now you know why the Duchess. Wanted to dance with you, because he's as terrible as you are. But nobody laughs at this, right? Because he's the rich who's doing this. He thinks he's doing a good job, but no, he's not doing a good job. He's actually doing worse than what you were doing. It's still terrible. It's still awkward. He's like out of breath and he's like sweating and he's like takes out like a handkerchief and is like, "Oh my, it is getting hot in here." Yeah.
And that's hilarious.
It is. It is. It's fun. It's really really fun. Everybody seems to be having a good time. Um,
The parties more often. Crazy.
I know, right? What else would you like to do?
Um,
You notice the council members are also enjoying themselves. They seem to not be dancing, but seem to have like huddled in like a group, and of course they're discussing like private matters and drinking. Elidora, of course, has her wine. Judas, he's like having water. Saku's like getting trashed. Bar the Knoll, he seems to be just like in the corner, just like watching and making sure like everybody is being kosher. Yeah. What would you like to do? So he's in the
Well,
corner.
we
Saku's
approach
getting drunk. Judas-
Eladora.
Okay. Eldora like nods to you, and she's like, "I suppose you want me to dance with you as well."
I mean, not if you don't want to. I know you have.
Roll
No,
me a
you're
persuasion.
I don't want to.
You don't want to? Yeah, I mean with those dice, yeah, I can see why. Yeah. So you're like, if you want to, and she's like, "You don't have to humor me. What do you want?"
I mean, I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to be into.
What? Oh no. Let's try refreshing. How's my internet doing? Hello? Okay. I mean, it's okay if he wants. If he doesn't like the dice, he doesn't have to leave. I'm teasing you. No. Feel like we should edit some of this stuff out. But that's the whole point. That's the whole point of being live and watching it. I love it. Love it. It's the music. It's the change of music, the happy music. See, you're rolling right too. Yeah. Let's try reconnecting. There we go. Welcome back.
Sorry about that.
Are you guys having storms there?
I didn't think it was that bad, but we had rain all day.
Ah, that makes sense. So I was like, man, he's mad because of the dice. That's what I was saying.
It's just rage quit.
This is a rage quit. I was like, I hate these dice toss. Well, it's not just you. It's not just you. So
Yeah, it's just these cursed dice, man.
it happens. It happens. So Elidora has is kind of like leaning back and sipping on her wine. When you ask her to dance, she quickly like dismisses you, right? I mean, she saw you dance and everything else, but you're not very persuasive. So trying to get her alone dancing, if you wanted to talk to her that way, it doesn't seem like that's going to happen. Maybe a more direct approach or a more cunning approach would aid you.
Just ask Eladora. Hello.
Yes, hello.
So I just wanted to let you know that I'll be escorting the two elven sisters back to the elven cities.
That is very kind of you. I wish I could join you.
I understand that you are currently, busy.
So as you recall last time, you got her backstory. You know that she is an exile.
Yeah, I just didn't want to bring up like
Yeah.
you're an exile.
Yeah. Hey, Eldora, we're going back to your homeland. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why she's a
Shame,
little miffed. That
shame
could
you
be.
can't come, huh?
Yeah, it's a shame. Yeah.
But if you could come to your homeland, then you I guess that would mean you were that
you,
outlaw.
you definitely know that Sidna is not her homeland. You know that Agnarok is.
Okay. That's, that's not too bad.
The Kingdom of Agnarok. You know that there are
I don't
three
think
Elven kingdoms. So, little backstory.
so. The door.
Yep.
I looked into this drow lady in this tavern. Do you know anything about her? Or
Lady Isabella, yes. What about her?
well, I'm just curious if you know anything about her. Like, was her business?
As I understand, she is in exile and hiding as well. She's not a very talkative type.
That's understandable.
She stonewalls
No,
a lot.
Perhaps I'm worrying about nothing then.
Are you concerned about something?
Uh, I just when I mentioned Mo's death, she didn't seem very pleased by it.
Of course.
Of course, because you know what?
So you're like trying to pry. So you're trying to pry information out of her, right? So this sounds like a persuasion. Come on, dice.
Patron, social.
Come on, dice. There we go. Maybe. Excellent. She's like, well, there's no wonder why she doesn't like you. Yes, I understand it. She is part of the black market.
Doesn't that make her as like bad as Mo?
It depends.
What?
What do you view as terrible or bad? She has proven useful to the council from time to time.
I mean, I think we can agree that slavery's pretty bad. I think.
Of course. Yes, slavery is horrible. There's a reason why we killed the old slavers.
So she isn't a slaver.
She is many things.
Noticing that you didn't say no.
She like looks at you and she's like, we elves wear many hats.
Okay.
We have long lives, if you can understand that.
And big heads.
Oh.
I mean, when
I mean, as you like look at her, her ears are kind of pointy, and of course they're a little bit larger than yours, right? So I guess that makes sense. She just like rolls her eyes and sips her wine. Judas, right, who's sitting right next to Elidor, kind of like nudges her in a jesting manner as he's like, "Oh yeah, and you got big heads too." She just rolls her eyes, like visibly rolls her eyes. Judas is just snickering at this jab.
Oh, really worth it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. You almost have a sense like there's a rivalry between the Inquisitor and the Ranger.
I can't imagine why.
Past lives.
Well, have a nice party. I'm gonna go get some food.
She like nods to you and she like raises her cup and you half-hearted salute. Yeah.
See you later.
All right. So you're gonna go get some food. As you're getting food from like the entrees and everything else, a council member with a large toad comes wandering over. He's like, hey, Adrian, Adrian, whatever your name is. Hey, buddy. Hey. He's like, here, hand me that pork rib right there. So he's like he's shorter than you, right? And he's like reaching over the table. He's like, and he's clearly intoxicated, right? He's like, hand me that pork rib right there.
Okay, if you're sure.
Okay.
I'm not gonna question it. Just gonna give it to you.
He's like, oh yeah, thanks, man. Oh man, this is one of my splurge days. And he like starts eating on this rib. It's little tusks and everything. It's like, yum, 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 yum. He is intoxicated, so like the grease and fat are like falling down on his little pop belly. His tribal tattoos and stuff stand out to you, and like the cane toad on his is like staring at you.
It's just like, wow, this is weird even for me.
Like, hey, you're a big hero now. What you gonna do now?
Go to Green Forest, I think it's called. Silver Mountains.
Green Forest? Where's the Green Forest? I'm drunk. Where's that at? Are they all green? Oh, the Jade Rainforest.
Hang on, I gotta look at my forest. I'm not very good at geography.
Oh, that's okay, man. I get lost all the time in the endless desert. It's like endless.
Whoa, man. Deep. But no, I'm going to the Silver Mountains to go to an elven city.
So he's like, oh, elves are stupid, man. They're just hide in their towers and stuff. They don't do anything. What you doing there?
Wearing hats apparently. So
he finishes his pork rib and he tosses it down on the floor, and like the toad like looks down at the floor and like sticks out his tongue and eats the rib. Like, this toad is large, and it's like hanging off him like a giant wart. Yes, it's a fairly large toad. He's like, he's like reaching up for another one.
So, do you not have a problem with eating pigs?
It's delicious. Have you tried some?
I mean, you're a poor elf.
He's like, here, try some.
Sure, I'll try some.
Roll me a knowledge history.
History is what I'm good at.
There we go. No, you're not. So I'm going to tell you something not true, right? I'm telling you out of character, this is not true, but this is what your character believes. You think that boar elves come from pigs, right? So they just evolved from pigs. So you think that this is an act of cannibalism?
Well, that's what I was worried at the beginning with.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. But that's what your character believes. It's not true, though. It's like, hand me another pork rib. And then you like hand him the pork rib, right? He's like, here, have some. So he's like offering you to act in this barbaric form of cannibalism.
Is this not like, eating your great grandfather or something?
He looks at the rib. He's like, do you think it is?
I mean, you're a boar elf, and this is a boar. So it's like half you, right?
Half me? I'm not a pig. So are you calling him like a pig that he's eating? By the way, he's like got grease and stuff all coming down off of him.
I mean, I don't want to sound mean, but you're.
I don't want to sound mean, but
you've got like boar-like traits.
Oh, yeah, I was born with him.
Yeah, me too. Funny enough.
By the way, audience, he is intoxicated right now. He is a partier. Yeah. He is going to live it up. So like you're like, are you eating your grandfather? He's like looking at the pork rib that he's.
I don't know, am I?
He's like, I don't know, man. I was born this way.
No pressure.
You're such a downer. Such a downer. See how smoothly you pull this off. Go ahead and roll me a persuasion.
Although it's going to be a boar fight.
Oh my god. Oh.
I need to go to bed. Get some visions.
Wow, these dice are horrible. Absolutely horrible. For people who are watching as too. That's not a critical failure. So you you insult him, right? So he takes the bone, right? Or the pork chop or pork rib that he's currently eating, and he throws it at your head. I want you to give me a dodge, a reflex save. This is clearly like signaling to you, so it's like taking it and throwing it back at you. So yes, this pork chop bings you right in the forehead. Clearly, you've upset this council member.
I didn't mean it.
You're the one who said it. He telegraphs this thing and he throws it, and he seems to be in a miff, right? And he's about ready to storm off. Do you say anything to this council member?
Sorry.
See you next
Don't
time.
understand.
Yeah, he starts storming off.
Probably won't even remember in the morning.
I mean, he's clearly intoxicated, right? So like everybody like watches this, right? And you get binged on the forehead. Saku storms off, right? Clearly mad. Bar comes over to you and he says, apologies. And he takes like his handkerchief and he like wipes off your forehead if you allow him. He's like, apologies. Sometimes he parties too much. He takes things way too seriously. Saku leaves the party, naturally.
I know I'm just an ignorant human. I just don't know how boar elves eat boar.
I think it's your terrible dice, that's what it is. So Bar kind of like pats you on the back and he's like, and like gestures for like the music to like calm down and settle down and everything else. People start like sitting down. He's like, I'm sure that you have some questions.
About boar elves? Sure.
I mean, yes, of course. Whatever you like. This is your day. What would you like to speak about?
So, where is... I can just ask about anything.
So I'm sure you have questions. Yeah. The Knoll is sober, by the way.
How did Vilesath?
So what?
How do you know the dragon upstairs?
Oh, he's a pack member. This is an old Knoll, by the way. He's got like, think of traditional Indian garb. So he's got leathers on. He's got a feather in his hair. Yeah. He's got a spear and shield. It's tan. Clearly a modernized spear, but very much like a Native American.
So I don't understand, because dragons don't usually conform with mortals. It seems almost revolutionary.
He like smiles at this, and he's like, you don't think dragons are mortals as well?
Well, I mean, they like to think that they're not mortals.
If you've not heard the legends of like great heroes killing dragons.
Have I heard the great legends of
You are at least
heroes
aware of one. You know that Aura, the name Aura, goes back.
Right. I mean, if they wouldn't be stories if they weren't, incredibly rare, right? And
What
basically unheard of, right?
do you mean?
Stories about dragon slaying. It's like super rare.
We, I suppose we lesser races. He like chuckles at this. It's like I suppose us lesser racers do like to fabricate from time to time, and yes, but dragons are mortals. They eat, sleep. Hell, I've even seen Valseth shit once or twice.
Wow, once or twice.
He like rolls his eyes. I was once his
Uh,
nanny, his caretaker.
but they live. They're like effectively immortal, right?
I've seen many dragons get injured and hurt.
I mean, like age-wise.
Are they immortal? I do not think so.
Okay. I mean, the dragon I was talking to, at least I think it might not have been a dragon anymore, seemed to think it was a sort of.
Oh, yes, yes. Some dragons do have an ego.
I mean, it was literally an embodiment of the red flame.
Did you see it?
Uh, it was hiding in the shadows, but I saw its glowing red eyes. It's very ominous.
Fascinating. I do not know what you speak of.
Maybe we can go there sometime. Hey.
He like looks at you like you wish to see the red dragons again.
That was a joke. I was,
So like Bar's like stoic, right? He's not very like humorous or anything like that. So he's just like,
I don't understand joke.
oh no, you don't no understand joke. You take thing very literal.
It's okay. No, I think it'd be very risky, specifically because it seems like the spirit there is very demanding of its followers.
I I assume you and that creature made a pact, did you not?
Um, no, I don't think I did. Didn't I? Did I make a pact? I mean, I offered him visions in exchange for my life.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but I mentioned in my story the test of strength sort of, I guess, earned my favor with the creature.
Yes. The Red Clan values strength above all else. Your
Oh,
victory over Moore must have impressed it, or at least entertained it to some amusement.
I can imagine, considering that I am not very physically strong.
He like looks you up and down, and he's like, "I suppose not for a blind man."
So, I don't know, what are you up to?
Oh, this is your night. I'm here to make sure that nobody acts the fool. And he like gestures after Sakul as he storms up the thing. It's like, make sure that the peace and everything is kept. Everybody's in good tensions.
And are you an outcast as well? Because I didn't think, you know,
Oh,
your people had outcasts. I don't really understand.
you don't know, do you?
I'm a very ignorant human, what can I say?
I am Bar, the Knoll, the Hunter. I am Valseth's second in command. My pack was killed by trolls. Valseth almost died as well. I almost died too.
You decided to come to save him?
I decided to follow my pack. Elidora and Judas have become part of my pack, but that is far more recent.
See. Who else is in your pack?
Oh, there are still some gnolls here. Not many, but they do not like the sands. It gets all matted in your fur. He kind of dusts himself off. It's like leather and wood is also hard to keep up. It's not like the Silver Mountains. Nothing like that.
I see. Interesting. Okay. So how come boar elves are okay with eating boar? I don't understand. It's a question.
Boar elves aren't boars.
They sort of resemble boars. That's why they're called boar elves.
I suppose I'm a dog then. He scratches himself like a dog would. He kind of amuses at this.
I mean, if you were eating a dog, I'd be like, dude, you know.
I sometimes do eat dog, but I also eat wolf as well.
You chase cats?
You don't know the legends or the lore, do you?
I mean, I know you're a hunter, but depends which lore you're referring to. I only have access to what the Inquisition is willing to tell me.
He laughs at this. He's like, the world is so much more than what the Inquisition tells you. I suppose we are all
Really?
villains to you. Gnolls are nothing but pests and monsters that must be put down and purged. No doubt you've heard this.
I mean, you're talking to a heretic, so it doesn't get much worse than that.
But you are still human. And because of that, you are usually given the benefit of the doubt. Do you think a gnoll would stand such a fair assessment?
I'm just flashing back
Yeah.
to that.
Mars telling you this, and you kind of get this oh, yeah.
I understand what you're saying.
Do you?
A little bit. But, I wouldn't wish that on anyone.
So you're very lucky to be human. You live so much longer than we do.
I mean, elves live a lot longer than humans. It's a sort of a mixed blessing, I imagine.
Yes, but
I hear they wear many hats.
only humans have the drive. Elves seem to be content to stay in their forests and work on art and their mastery of what they want. Spending their long years doing whatever they wish. They forget about family and friends, and they're very egocentric. Humans seem to be that perfect balance between remember that one day you're going to die and having time to kill.
So, I might not live very long, from what I understand on how magic works.
Oh yes, I've seen a Grand Magus go mad.
They go mad, huh?
Indeed.
Is there any way to slow it, I guess?
He looks at you up and down. He's like, I'm sorry, but I know nothing about magics.
That's
At least,
fair.
not that I'm willing to tell you.
Thanks. Do you have an opinion on what the white light fountain outside is? Why is it here?
Oh, you speak of the white flame. Yes. Isn't it beautiful? Strange that
Yeah,
this would be a bastion for slavers before we freed it. So weird.
it just it seems really weird that you know it's just out here in the middle of the open. There's no like history to it. It's just there.
Well, I mean, when me and Valseth and Elidora and Judas came here, it was here. But that was like 20 years ago.
Wow, you guys are 20 years.
Go ahead and roll me knowledge nature.
Oh my gosh. Do some nature.
Yes. You know that this knoll should be dead.
How old are you exactly?
How old do I look? He looks fairly old. Like his muzzle's like gray.
Like mid-30s, maybe?
He's like, no, I'm only 17. You can do an insight here.
Hang on. The numbers don't add up. Inside.
Yeah, he is clearly lying. Like his tail
You don't-
flicks, right?
I mean, you don't look 17. No offense.
Oh, do you know many gnolls?
That's up to you in my time. Not personally, you understand. Just in passing.
You're smart, Adrian. Maybe too smart.
Man. Hush. But, thank you, I think.
He like nods to you and he's like, do you have any other questions you would like to ask?
Do you know about like law and stuff, right? Like stuff that the Inquisition won't tell people about.
I know things of the Gnoll people. The Inquisition, I don't know what lies you assume you know.
So what about, do you know anything about dwarves?
He like frowns at this and he's like, what is a dwarf?
Like a short person.
Oh, you're talking about halflings.
Am I talking about halflings?
Oh no.
I don't think I'm talking about halflings.
So
I'm
like
talking about
like midgets, halflings, like normal people who are just have suffering from dwarfism.
I'm talking about
So that's what he's referring to. He's clearly saying like, you know, the dwarfism
people.
of humanity. Yes, halflings, half men.
no, I'm not referring to them.
It's like, then I do not know what you speak of.
Let's see. So are you a servant of the dragons, I guess? Because you serve a dragon.
He like shrugs and he's like, I suppose I would be considered that. You do notice that he has no draconic symbols on him. He's like, I would die for Valseth if it came to it.
I assumed he sort of, had it covered being a dragon. Can withstand a lot.
Oh, I've seen him suffer terrible blows.
I see. Is there anything you want to ask me? I don't know.
Well, now that you're a hero, how do you expect to spend the rest of your life? Will you live here in Ravenshaven with us?
Well, I told you that I have to try and stop this undead from spreading across the plains, the Golden Plains.
If you can find evidence of your claims, we will aid you as best we can. But of course, we're not going to act in lands that are not
I'm
our
afraid.
own.
I'll do my best. I do have an owl, if anything matters.
Of course. He like gestures to Aura. He's like, does she not have animal messenger or anything like that?
That is true. I'm not sure if she would be interested in fighting undead or not. It seems a lot of, like, very dangerous, you know.
He like nods in agreement. I have no doubt. The dead are not to be taken lightly.
You know, maybe once that's all tidied up, maybe I'll come back to Ravenshaven and retire.
He like he shifts uncomfortably, and he's like, "Do you have funeral arrangements?"
I don't.
He's like, "I know this is hard to talk about, but perhaps you would like to discuss that."
You want me to write, like, a will?
Of course, you are an adventurer, are you not?
I don't really have a next of kin.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Hey, I'm still young. Don't judge me.
Is there someone you can confide in, someone you can trust?
Um, kind of, but she's sort of stuck to a tree, so to speak.
He like looks at you like, "What are you talking about?" It's like, "Oh, somebody stuck to a tree."
Um, I don't know. I've sort of been an outsider most of my life and moved around a lot, so you don't have a lot of confidants. But you know,
Life is too short to live by yourself, Adrian. I suggest finding a pack and family of your own.
I have my owl.
He like looks at the creature that just like stares at him. It's like interesting.
Well, now that you mention it, there is Jeffrey, I guess. Not sure why I saved him, but it seemed like a worthy cause at the time.
I thought humans just normally saved other humans.
I saved elves as well. Let's go count something.
According to your story, you also saved war elves, yet they are not here.
Well, I don't speak Boar Elf, so they just sort of ran off.
He like his eyes kind of like follow after Sakul up the stairs. Like, yeah, I wonder why.
I don't understand Boar Elves. I've never met one before.
Never met a normal boar elf. Let's just say that. You've met boar elves, but you haven't met a normal one. Not a caricature of one.
How are you enjoying the party?
He's like looks around. He's like, it's not as wild and crazy as ours in the Silver Mountains. When my pack was around, we would hunt for 3 days in celebration until we were exhausted. Then we would gorge ourselves and have an orgy of delights.
It's me. Have an orgy of lights?
Of delights.
I'm just,
You're pretty much sure that like they all get together, have a party. You know what I mean? There's a reason why gnolls are so numerous.
They're very short lives. They gotta make it up somehow.
Yep. I mean, when they party hard.
Good to know, I think.
Barlight nods in agreement. He's like, something to experience.
Just like sending a message to my owl to be like, don't invite me to any no parties.
I mean, different culture, man. Totally different culture.
It's true. So do Boar Elves have like long lives or short lives?
He's like, I don't know much about boar elves. You'd have to ask Sakul about that.
I'm sure he'll take that great. Like, how long are you gonna live? When are you going to die? Hmm. I wonder how Farmer Ed is doing.
So your mind, right? So we get like this crossover. I was like, this old Noel is sitting across from you, right? And he's like talking to you, and your mind wanders over to Farmer Ed. Tell me about like how your mind wanders over.
I feel like he's sort of like looking at the knoll, but because he's blind, he doesn't actually have to look at him. He's just sort of lost in
Seeing
his
it
own
through
thoughts.
his eye, yeah, outside.
He doesn't know that his eyes are completely zoned out
Right.
behind his mask. He's just nodding along like, uh-huh.
Okay. So Bar, sensing that you're zoning out, he's like, if you have nothing else to say or ask, I will be departing soon to retire.
Well, thank you for your company. It's been good to talk to you properly. But, you know, what can I say? I'm an ignorant human.
I don't think so. He like
Oh,
pats you
thank
on
you.
your shoulder and he's like, forgive some of the people around here. They can be a bit harsh. This is a harsh land, and I hope you understand.
I understand, yeah.
Don't judge everyone by their fur.
Okay.
He nods, and he starts to depart if you have anything else to say.
I'll turn back to my table.
Excellent. Saying that, like the council members have kind of done their thing with you. Eleonora like comes over with her sister, and they like offer to like sit down with you. Uh,
Sure. Great. It's good to see you guys. Dancing.
Orange Sira is like, well, thank you for dancing with us. It was a lovely party. You were a really good dancer.
Thank you.
I really appreciate your time with us. We have to go to sleep. Is there anything else?
Uh, nah, it's okay. We'll be leaving in the morning, I assume, unless you have anything else to do.
They like say, okay, in the morning. By the way, you still have to convince Jeffrey if you want Jeffrey to go. He was 50-50 last time, remember? So,
Sure.
yep, Jeffrey's currently asleep. So Aura and Jasira begin to depart. They kind of like giggle, and their faces are kind of flush. But yeah, they depart.
Okay. So
Sis,
because
do it, and the Duchess. And like, how are you feeling, Adrian? Are you having a good time?
yeah, I'm feeling great.
You need to work on your dancing skills and storytelling skills and dice rolling skills. He's like,
I was
good
never.
lord, man, good lord, who taught you to do that?
Who taught me how to dance? I don't know. I don't think I was taught how to dance.
Oh, you dance wildly and methodically with those elves. Duchess is like, will no man dance with me?
Oh, poor Baroness. So you guys gonna be staying here, I guess, or
Of
when are you guys?
until we retire for the evening. This was
I
a
mean,
wonderful party.
When do you plan to go back to the city of Alkaline?
It's been several months, darling. It's wonderful, you see. He like draws you close and he's like, we have several investments within the kingdom of Alkaline. It's wonderful. You see, we have an allowance that we are allowed to spend. See, this is a business adventure, writing off as a tax thing. So everything we do here is tax deductible. And you see, like he goes into like these details of like the accountants, right? He's like, it's amazing. You see, if you invest Have you heard of honey ale, good sir? Honey ale is an amazing investment. You see, not only is it addictive qualities, but people come back and buy it over and over again. However, you see, there's a limitation on the amount of honey, you see, and I control the honey production. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I sold honey ale before.
Oh, not that backwater squalor. So he like pulls out like all like this fancy bottle of like he's like, have you tried this brand, good sir? Have you tried this honey ale delight?
I haven't, but I would very much
Here's a
be
gift
honored.
to you. You get one honey
Loves
ale.
honey ale.
It's the exact same quality.
Yeah.
It's 1d8 and then DC 10. And like, this is the good stuff. This is the city of Alkaline. This is my property. You see, I made it.
Okay.
You know that he didn't make it. No, he's just an investor. Yeah, he's just an investor. He didn't make this crap.
Well, I hope you two had a good time at the party.
Oh,
You know.
it was lovely. I do enjoy watching the savages dance for me. It's amazing.
Hopefully, next time I come down to Ravenshaven, we can do that trip out to the desert. But it seems I have double booked myself once more.
Oh, don't worry about it. You're a busy man. You're a hero now. Everybody knows that. I'll make sure that everybody does. Yes.
Okay. Have a good night.
Good night, good sir. Sleep tight. Your owl's so freaky looking.
It's just got a golden monocle, man.
Yes,
There you go,
he's like,
Judge.
highly sophisticated but freaky looking.
It's true. It's freaky out.
Elidora and Judas get out a game of chess, and they set it down on the table and they start playing.
Oh my god.
Hmm?
Is there anyone else in the room that I can do it to?
Well, not that you've noticed. Your eyes can't see shit. I mean, sure, you can go ahead and roll me another one as the party starts dying down and people start leaving. Go ahead and roll me another perception because I'm nice.
Thanks, Luke.
I just feel really bad for you. These dice rolls are terrible.
So we get the net 20.
That's an insight. Oh,
Is that?
Oh my good lord. I'm just going to give it to you. You do see Lady Isabella come back down from out of the council chamber. She sits back down. Her drow warriors, of course, standing ever present.
I mean, honestly, I don't feel like great conversation material going on there. So let's go join in the chess game.
Excellent. Elidora and Judas, you see who's winning, high or low. Oh, 1d2. If it's high, it'll be Elidora. If it's low, it's Judas. Oh, Elidora is currently foot stomping Judas. Judas is getting frustrated, and he's like, how can you be drinking and still be gaming so well? She like smirks at him. She's like, yeah, I'm kicking your ass. It's a very amusing match because like Judas is like, oh man, how do I always get outplayed by elves? And Elidora is just like sitting back and like swirling her wine smugly. Yeah, that's what's currently happening right now.
Okay. Mind if I watch?
As you come over, they're like, yes. Judas like dabs his brow, and he's like, would you like to take over for me?
Sure. We'll, work together for the glory of humanity.
Elidora rolls her eyes, and she's like, of course, go ahead.
Oh, the humans are rising up again.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
She's like, how typical. Humans always coming to humans' aid. Judas like growls at her, but she just continues to smirk, and she gives you a wink, Adrian. Are you ready to roll off your intelligence?
Winking. It's like you want me to sabotage?
I mean,
Yeah,
tell me what you're doing. Tell me how you are doing. What are you doing?
Well, I imagine
Elidor is
Adron
attempting
played-
to win. Not bad. Not bad. What are you
Do I
doing?
need to roll?
Intelligence. This is intelligence. As like the game continues, you are currently at a slight disadvantage right now. So Elidora quickly, you see like Judas has set you back quite a bit. You make a few moves, and you quickly realize that Elidora's like you fell into her trap. She's like, "Ha ha! I knew you would make that move. I've been planning that one right there."
Oh,
Go ahead
she's been
and
playing this game for thousands of years.
I mean, she's got mad skills. You are currently at a disadvantage. Oh no! But Elidora makes a fatal mistake. Let's see if you can capitalize on it.
Oh my gosh, she was in her arrogance.
Yes. Yes, you begin taking pieces away that she was not expecting. Your guys are right back at the even mark. She growls at this as you suddenly take charge. And Judas was helping you out, and then he's like kind of falling silent as you're like suddenly like start taking important pieces. It's like, she like grits her teeth. And this is the make or break, right? Make or break right here. And see
Make
who
or break.
ultimately wins. Oh. Excellent.
Why?
So as the game continues, you forget about your king, right?
Oh, not the king.
And Elidora makes two moves, and she says, "Check, mate." And she smirks. She says, "It looks like I have your king."
No, but that can't be right. Let me check. Oh, well, if you carry the... Oh, yeah, I guess that is right.
So you're like, I need to do this, I need to do that. And like Judas kind of like winks at Elidora, and he's like, it seems even the hero can't beat an elf. He like stands up and like offers a handshake to Elidora, and Elidora's like takes it gracefully. He's like, I'll be retiring. Do you need anything from me, hero?
No, thank you for the game of chess. It was very enlightening.
He's like, well, we'll get her next time. He like Judas begins to depart. It is just you and Elidora. Your king is currently surrounded.
So, Elidora,
She nods to you.
can I ask you something?
Played.
I feel like you've mastered this game long before I have.
She like nods in agreement.
Can I ask you something?
Of course. Speak.
This is gonna sound personal, I guess, but how old are you?
That's very rude.
I'm just curious. I don't know how elves work.
She like kind of like looks at you and kind of like, what do you mean you don't know how elves work?
I mean, I don't know how to tell an elf's age by looking at them, and they live for like what, thousands of years?
So like she says, give me your hand.
Oh, okay. Oh,
So she takes your hand and
Let's
places it
have
inside her. And she's like, have you ever heard of trees?
I mean, occasionally they
Have
come
you
up.
ever cut and counted the circles on a tree?
Actually, now that you mention it, I think my mother taught me that.
That's wonderful. At least you're not completely ignorant. You'd be surprised.
You're not gonna cut open my arm, are you?
She says, no, of course not. She like gestures and she says, "Do you see your fingerprints? See the markings
Yes,
on your
well,
hand?" And then she gestures to hers.
this is just really wrinkly.
No, it's not wrinkly. It's very fine. Go ahead and roll me a perception with advantage. Oh, well, you already got that. Actually, this would be a touch, right? You're feeling her hand with your own.
Okay. So that'll be Adron's perception.
Yes.
Blind sense.
Jesus Christ. So you don't get it, right? You don't understand what she's saying.
You have very squishy hands, but I don't understand. Are you 10 years old?
So
Is
you
that how many
don't,
fingers?
you don't put the correlation together that the number of finger tips, right? The number of rings on her fingerprint is the amount of years she is like a tree.
Is that true for all elves?
She's like, well, unless they don't have hands or are injured.
I mean, does like a baby elf just have blank fingertips?
Yes, they're completely smooth.
Wow, that's amazing. I didn't mean to offend you with such a.
Ignorance? No, you are a child, like most humanity.
Yeah, that's fair.
Do you
I
think
hope
I
you had a
would
good party.
browbeat a child because they do not know? I think not.
Okay, I appreciate that.
I feel sorry for you, Adrian. I feel sorry for all humans.
Because I use magic?
No.
You just feel sorry because I'm a human. Okay.
You. She like she kind of like laughs at this. She's like, well, yeah.
Yeah, you're a human. It sucks to be human. Okay, thanks. I think.
Is there anything else you'd like to ask, Adrian, before I retire?
Well, I don't suppose since we've last spoke, you've heard anything about dwarves?
She like looks at you and she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Go and roll me an insight.
It's just like a face, just a full front lie.
I mean, you can't recall, right? You don't remember how that conversation went. God, get good. You need to get good. Look at these dice rolls. It's absolutely horrible. Have you rolled above a 10 once, twice, 3 times, 4 times? Okay, all right. It's not terrible. I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Okay, I think I better be going up myself before I make a complete drunken fool of myself.
She like swirls her wine. Yeah, she just views you as a child right now, right? She's like, oh my gosh. So simple. So naive. To be a baby.
Not far off. Doesn't feel like she's far off.
Anything else?
I think we're good. Is there any elven customs I should be aware of while traveling with elves, I guess?
She like says, do you speak Elvish?
I do not.
You should probably learn.
That's a fair analysis, but it does take like a year to learn Elvish, from what I understand.
Don't worry, elves have time.
Humans do not.
Yep. You get that distinct, feeling of like, yes, I could teach you. Right?
Well, perhaps if I should return some sort of teaching arrangement, if you're willing to teach me Elvish.
I take on only this most serious of students. You, Adrian, are not a serious student.
I'm very intellectual. I can
You,
study magic.
it's not a question about intelligence, Adrian. It's about dedication. You're not sworn to anyone or anything. You're like a free floating butterfly. In some ways, I admire that. In other ways, I feel sorry for you.
Uh, Thanks. I think. Uh, I feel like I'm dedicated to my beliefs. Like,
Oh, and what are those?
kill but not murder. Life is like seasons, and we must change with it. I have many lessons drawn from observing nature. Hello?
Yes, and
Well, like I said, most of what I know about the world is from nature.
that is good. And yet you are a wizard doing unnatural things.
Um,
Not only is it that you render the elements, you also render your own soul.
I didn't realize I was doing that when I started.
I suppose not many do.
It is a path that is not very well trodden.
No, it's trotted quickly, fast, and ends spectacularly.
So I keep hearing about these magi that go mad.
She
No one's
shifts
ever tried to.
uncomfortably as you mention this. As you recall, her mentor was a magi who was driven insane. And it was the dragon
I only
Valseth that killed him.
only bring it up because I was curious if any of them ever made any progress in trying to slow the process,
Just like
like to the elves.
you spoke of this before. And I've already told you what you are suggesting is barbaric and horrendous.
Well, you can't blame a human for trying, you know?
No, I am not a wizard myself, and I can thank my master for that. He did not want me to follow his path, and chose a ranger for me. And for that I will be forever grateful for him.
I
Despite
see.
his last years.
It sounds very painful.
She like, yeah, yeah, think.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go to bed now. I
So she begins like putting the chess pieces up and everything else, and she shuts the door, the case closed, right?
Mhm.
And she's like, "Well, thank you, Adrian. I enjoyed the game. I always love these little refreshers because we've talked about this before. I will. I will. I wish you luck in your future endeavors. Strive to do good, Adrian."
and also with you.
She like nods to you and departs upstairs.
All right, I think it's time Adron went to bed.
Excellent. The party winds down. Yeah, it ends with you shutting your door and people just cleaning up dishes downstairs.
So this time I want to sort of block the door with my bed again
Sure.
because Adron knows that someone tried to break into his room.
Yes. Okay. That
Makes
night,
sense.
go ahead and roll for your vision thingies. In the
Oh, yeah,
morning.
nice.
Because good lord, you need them.
Visions.
Yes. Visions. Okay. That night, you have terrible dreams. You hear crying, weeping. You
Oh,
see
no.
hands. Not like clean hands, but dirty, scarred, dead hands reaching up for you.
Oh no, that's
Uh,
not a good sign at all.
no, it's not. You don't. You're not. You're not disturbed tonight.
That's fair. Uh, so in the morning, I check up on Joffrey's room first, if that's okay.
Of course, yeah. Go ahead and roll persuasion as you knock on the door. You see if he greets you like last time. Like I think you have advantage on this. You rolled a natural 20. Yeah, you have advantage. Yeah. So Jeffrey opens the door. He's a little like sleepy eyed and everything. It's like, hey, Adrian, what's up? Like, what can I do for you?
Well, I just wanted to let you know that we'll sort of be leaving today. So if this is sort of
That
last chance
sounds
to join us.
sounds like another persuasion. You do not have an advantage on this, as you're offering to take him to the elves.
Persuasion.
Jeez. Well, there we go.
Oh my gosh.
So like,
That's the wrong word counted.
so yes, this is the one that counted. So tell me how you persuade Jeffrey. So like Jeffrey opens the door. He's tired, right, and he's like clearing his eyes. He's like, "What can I do for you, man?"
Um, I feel like maybe I need your help. Maybe the path isn't necessarily going to be safe, and I could use a pair of eyes to watch my back. And, you know, I trust you, Joffrey, more than most people.
Joffrey like nods in agreement. He's like, "I trust you too, man. You and me, let's do this. You watch my back, I watch your back."
this is, this is another blind leading the blind situation, isn't it?
Human leading a human into the elves, yeah.
Oh, I suppose it can't go. How bad can it go? Huh?
Right.
Let's go check it.
Jeffrey gets ready, and he levels up. 'Cause he's going
Go
to
check it. Or well, is he a rogue? I guess.
Um, he's something.
Who knows?
He's an NPC. That's what he is. Go ahead and roll me a persuasion.
No,
Yep. Let's see how happily they greet you.
Patron is here.
Oh yeah. So before you open the door, Aura is already like trimmed down and everything else. So she had baggy clothes, stuff like that. So she's been working through the night. The clothes are much more fitting for them. She's like, "Me and my sister are ready to return. Are you?"
Hmm. And Joffrey will be joining us if that's all right with you.
Of course. More the merrier.
All right. In that case, I'll go get my meal from the stools,
Excellent.
and we'll be off after we fill our water shells.
As you depart the end, I want you to roll me an insight as you leave.
That's it. Fine. Wah, wah.
Okay. You get ready to depart. I'll go into the overland map. Is there anything else you want to do here in town before I switch screens?
I think we're good because we did most of it last time, I imagine.
It is very true. Overland map. Overland map. Overland map. Get the tour of the world that you've never seen before.
Da-da-da.
So, the screen pulls out. You are currently in the city of Ravenshaven. Right here. You should be able to move yourself. Unless you want to be in the Mountains of Fire. You could
That's
still
fast
be in the
travel.
Mountains of Fire. You are currently heading where? Where are you heading?
Alright, which way are we heading?
So she gestures. You can't see it, but she points eastward.
So
So currently you are in the endless desert.
that seems fine.
Okay.
I mean, I know Adron has a feat. That means he knows which way is always north.
That is very true. You know that the mountains of fire were to the north, so you guys are going the opposite direction of that. So you're going to the Silver Mountains.
Okay,
Okay.
that's we can.
So my question
That's
is: Are you fast traveling to Farmer Ed's homestead, and then moving to Sidna, or are you just heading directly to Sidna?
ooh, which one is Sedna? Is it this one?
You don't know. You've never been there.
Aura, which way is Sedna?
Once again, she gestures east.
I mean, they're both east. Okay.
Well, actually, it's southeast, but yes, she gestures east.
Okay, I guess we can sort of do far red on the way back.
So, what
This
would
way
you
was sort of.
like to do?
I think we just want to go straight here because we want to avoid Inquisition.
Sounds good.
And we know Inquisition is going to be swarming here.
Hmm.
But we also want to get out of the desert as soon as possible.
Yeah. So go ahead and roll me survival as you make it. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tell me where you are heading. Ping where you are heading.
So here.
Excellent. So go ahead and roll me survival twice.
Twice. Oh no.
Would you like to use any of your wizarding magics?
I will use my 15 to make that roll a 19.
Excellent. You advance. In this area, you notice like the change between the endless desert and the golden plains is spectacular, right? So you get this mixture of gold overlapped with waves of green.
Mm-hmm.
You are currently you get no encounters for that day. That night, go ahead and roll me 2 survivals.
That's a lot of survival.
Excellent. Not a problem. Not a problem. You wake up in the morning, nothing's there. Where do you go from
Oh,
there?
yeah. Here?
Excellent. Go ahead and place yourself. Once again, 2 survivals for the day.
Can I also say that during the night I'm using my tiny hut spell?
You may. Yes. Not a problem. Okay. Go ahead and roll me your vision thingy.
If our vision helps guide us.
Mm-hmm. I assume you're going
Okay,
to
we'll see those.
replace that 6. Excellent. So
So glad I have.
once again, you hear crying, and you feel like these hands crawling up and groping you. It's not a natural 20, so you don't get a clear vision of what is groping at you. It's these dark hands, right? Okay.
I feel like Adron is using these landmarks to avoid specific areas of the forest.
Yeah. Well, this is the Golden Plains, so these are just wide, vast spans, right? You haven't even gotten to the good part. So yeah, go ahead and keep going.
So this is for the night?
Yep, this is for the night.
But that was not the night roll. This is the night.
Excellent. That night, you're saying you're in your tiny hut. Who, if anyone, is keeping watch outside?
I'm gonna assume. Well, we can see out, but they can't see in.
Right.
So we can keep watch inside the thing.
Who's keeping watch?
I'm gonna say Redley.
Go ahead and roll me a perception for Retley.
All right. Let's get the sheet up.
Fascinating. So Retley sees like this big shaggy wolf, not really walking, more of like stumbling in the darkness. Uh, he wakes you up, right? As he normally does. It's like, hey, 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 wake up, wake up. You wake up and you look outside, and it is currently dark. And because of this shambling wolf in the distance, you can't really make out what's going on unless you do some further investigation. Do you step out of the hut?
I'm going to say no.
Excellent.
What I would like to do is wait till morning, till when the hut is about to disappear, and
Okay.
then wake everyone up and be like, guys, there might be something outside. Get ready to fight.
Well, it's currently, it doesn't know that you're there, right? It's just shambling by.
Uh,
Um, it's too far away for your owl to see with his dark vision, right? But
but yeah, I'm not that interested in picking a fight with a shambling dog creature.
yeah, okay. Anything else? You wake up and do you roll me a survival? Are you tracking this beast? What are you doing?
I mean, if it's not bothering anyone, I think because I'm in school, I think it's best to avoid it.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
That's about
Excellent. You have no. Go ahead and place yourself because you're moving again.
okay. Let's go. Yeah.
Excellent. So as you're heading like northeast, Aura pulls you off to the side and she's like, "We are currently heading towards the kingdom of Agnarok."
Is that not where we want to go?
That is not where we want to go. We're looking for Sidna. However, we will be more protected in the forests than we will out in the plains. If the Inquisition is doing what I think they're doing, they will have patrols on the river, and this will be the fastest way to cross the river. This will be the shallowest part. The further downstream we go, the harder it will be to cross. Did you
Okay, well, let's
foresee
cross.
this? Yeah. Did you foresee this?
Uh, funnily enough, I knew that the Inquisition would be here.
I assume the closer you are to the kingdom of Alkaline, the more Inquisition you would find. Is this assumption wrong?
Uh, assumption is correct, but my dear Watson, what you have to understand is that Inquisition are currently patrolling this area because of this undead outbreak that has been reported.
Interesting. Do you think there are undead?
Yes,
Have you seen
I
them?
have seen.
Oh.
I have seen them.
Where
in
did you
visions
last see
and-
them at?
Well, did I mention that I killed a troll zombie?
No, you mentioned nothing about that. You did say that you encountered undead, but you didn't say anything about that.
Oh, sorry, my mistake. So before I left to go rescue you guys, I had a chance, happenstance, against a whole crowd of zombies. Wasn't pretty, but I managed to get out of it by throwing a lot of fireballs.
Do you tell her anything else about that encounter?
Um, I believe there is like a sorcerer or a necromancer that's conducting these based on my visions.
You said that the undead talked. Was there anything else that you found?
Well, recently, Retley mentioned that we very narrowly avoided this sort of shambling creature in the dark. So we very narrowly avoided some undead ourselves, I think.
Fascinating. Says you have proven to be very useful and skillful at avoiding stuff. Yet you don't seem to know anything.
Oh. Well, that is my specialty. Don't grow.
Is there anything else that you can tell me? Roll me intelligence, by the way. I think you're forgetting something important.
Is there something that James, is forgetting?
There we go.
That's my roll.
You
I
found a
remember
dagger.
now. Oh yeah, I found a dagger. Check it out. Look at this dagger.
Okay. She examines the dagger. I was like, I give you stuff. I give you stuff. She examines the dagger and she looks at it. She's like, "Where did you find this?"
I believe one of the zombies had it like sticking out of them, like the troll one. I think.
This weapon is a curse. It's evil. She gestures and she says, "This was manufactured by the Black Flame. It's imbued with necromantic power."
But I mean, a hammer is still a hammer. It's a tool.
I disagree. A hammer used against a child is no longer just a hammer. It's a murder weapon.
I don't know. I think, objects can be redeemed.
Do you think the Black Flame can be redeemed?
Well, just as the white flame can be corroded, surely the black flame is not, this indivisible force. Right?
Death in its natural state, you are correct, is not evil. However, do you think this, and she gestures to the rusty, scabbard old blade, is?
All I know is that I must use every advantage I can take to survive.
You sound just like a magus.
I am technically a mage.
She nods. There is some sadness when she sees you. Oh, there's nothing wrong with this. It's fine.
I mean, I don't know how it was made. I was just
You're just using it. It's not your fault.
If I didn't have this, I probably wouldn't have survived the rescuing you.
Right. I mean, that's what you tell her.
It's
She says, "Of course, Adrian."
I mean, are you giving it back or?
So she looks at it and she's really hesitant to just hand back this clearly evil blade. She just hands it back to you. Yeah.
I wish I could say I want to get it purified, but the only way I could imagine that happening is going to the Holy Master, and in my eyes, he is also as evil as the Black Flame.
She opens up her mouth to speak, and she's like, "Adrian, do you not know about the Holy Master?"
He's like a god. He's been around forever.
She shakes her head no, and she's like, "No, he's a mortal man."
What? Did you know him?
No, he was before my time.
Well, if he's immortal and he's lived longer than you, that's a pretty old human.
She sighs and she's like, "Are you ready to know the truth?"
Are you saying the Holy Master isn't real? Is that why people have never seen him? I'm not hearing a no.
Are you ready to hear the truth, Adrian?
Okay, sure. Hit me.
What do you know about dragonkind?
Uh, they created the elves, I think.
What do you know about humans?
They, pretty crusaderistic, for lack of a better term. Very hostile, uh, expansionists.
There's a reason for that.
Uh-huh.
I shall tell you. Just as once a gold dragon told me.
Is this is this gonna scar me for life or something? It's scaring me, or
Humans were once elves.
gosh.
However, humans, the elves, and perhaps I should start at the beginning. Originally, there was several dragon clans, and even before that, there was lore. But I shall start with the humans. The Gold Dragon clan and elves lived together in peace and prosperity. They built many of the wonders you see now today. And it was here, in this golden age, that the Gold Clan rose to power. And the other dragons rejected the elves, seeing them as nothing more than pests and nuisance. However, as the Gold Clan rose to power and prominence, it was the elves who demanded to learn magic. And at first, the Gold Clan refused to teach them. So when the elves decided that they would take magic, they rose up against the Gold Clan, slaughtering them. And had it not been for the other dragon clans, the elves would have won. However, because the other clans intervened, they decided to punish the elves. And from the elves that were captured, the Silver Clan saw that they were greedy and evil, and thus take away their immortality. And thus humans were created. Humanity was created from the greed of elves.
Oh my gosh.
The Red Clan, seeing that they were ever hungry, created the Boar Elves.
Okay.
They would be the sweetest of meats and would be consumed forever by the Red Clan. However, in their vanity, the Green Clan viewed the servants of the Gold Clan as useful, and thus creating wyverns from the elves that they had captured.
Okay.
The Black Clan, forever desiring death, chose to create the elves and split them down the middle so that they could never unite against the Black Clan. And thus, they created the short-lived gnolls and the armored trolls and pitted them against each other forever.
What about the Silver Clan? Or the Silver Dragons?
The Silver Clan took away the elves' immortality and thus created humans. They were maybe the kindest of their creators.
So, sounds like, dragons wield a lot of power.
Perhaps. I don't know how long it took or how long it made them. Those were ages past.
So, the Holy Master is an elf. That's
No.
what you're saying.
No. He is very much a man. And what are humans made out of? But the greed of elves. The Holy Master wanted his immortality, just to become elven again. And thus he formed a plan, one that has continued to exist even to this day.
Okay.
The Iron Throne is nothing more than a device that keeps him alive. Heretics, their white flames, are sacrificed unto him.
It's like
That
parasite.
is why he is still alive. Yet, he's bound to the Iron Throne. Of course, all of this is heresy. To the Inquisition. It is even heresy to the elves, for the elves view them as nothing more than a parasite.
But you're an elf, so does that make you a heretic?
Of course. In the eyes of the Holy Master, yes. I know the truth. But the truth would be heresy.
But the dragons know the truth. That's where you learned it from.
You don't know, do you?
Know what? What do I not know?
It was the Gold Clan.
Yep, Gold Clan.
Who taught
Gold Clan, that was...
the elves magic.
Okay.
Which they stole it from. Ever wanting more.
But there's no gold dragons anymore.
There are. Of course there are. There's the rarest of dragons.
I see. Where do they sort of reside? Like the Golden Plains?
She like shrugs.
Interesting.
You think the Gold Clan would tell their past slayers where they live now?
That's a fair point. But this was like hundreds of years ago.
Thousands, if not
thousands,
hundreds of thousands.
Well, so it does sound like the dragons are sort of godlike beings, at least.
It was not always so. According to the Gold Clan.
So, what is bigger than a dragon?
You see, according to the Gold Clan, I mean, are you ready for the more exposition? I thought this was a lot of exposition to go from.
Let's do it.
We're going to go lower dump. Lower dump? Okay, we're going to go lower dump.
It's like we're finally understanding why the humans are so messed up.
Are they? Are they messed up?
Well, they purge a lot, so...
Now you know. Now you know.
Oh my gosh. They're elves. We're all elves. It all fits together.
She says, at the beginning there was only one clan, and it was Dragonkind. And through their magics, they sought to control the elements, and each one learning and specializing in each. And of course, through time and disaster, each clan would resort to more and more desperate ways to maintain power, and thus they were fractured when there was the great disaster.
The Great Dragon? Is this Gold Clan? Or was this a different disaster?
This was before even the elves were created. The disaster changed and shaped the world.
Okay.
So she like shows like, we're sitting around a campfire, right? She like takes this rock and throws it into the fire. She says, "Watch," and then there's like splits and shatters the fire, right? She says,
Wow.
You can see within the fire each clan doing what they do. And you see like the green clan, right? They're like taking trees and roots and rocks and shaping the world. And you see the gold clan taking the air out of and then breathing it in. And then you see the gold clan creating life. And you see like the creation of an elf. And then you see the red clan who's like mastering fire in itself. There are other clans out there. But these are what we know of.
These are the ones that survived.
These are the ones that survived the disaster. Each one specializing and being separated. That is why they have such vastly different powers and distinctions.
So they're not a god, so to speak. They're a fractured sort of. Yes.
I don't know what you would call them. This is second-hand knowledge. I'm not of the Gold Clan.
I see. Perhaps I should seek out these gold dragons. They might be able to. They seem very wise, knowledgeable about magic.
Well, the creators of life would know. If you are trying to save your life, the white flame, you would have to seek them out.
But it sounds like if the secret to using magic is to use an iron throne, is that worth the cost?
She shrugs. For me, it would not. I don't know what you're willing to do to save your life, Adrian. I've seen many magi go insane.
This is... I see. So... What?
Adrian, you realize with this knowledge, you could attain immortality.
I mean, this is just a theory. I don't know if this necessarily helps with the other bits. But hang on, there's one thing you didn't mention.
Yes?
You didn't mention dwarves. Were they not created by a dragon?
I don't know.
What about undead?
She looks at you and she says, I don't know. I am of the natural world. You ask of things that are unnatural.
I just assumed that, dragons are the source of all magic and
No.
undead are...
If dragons all died today, there would still be magic in this world.
Well, they mastered their elements,
Of course.
is what I mean.
Yes. The world would be sadder for them, but yes.
Okay. So tomorrow I was thinking we'll head south.
How are we going to cross the river?
Do you think my donkey can carry us across?
Oh no. This is remember downstream. It was a massive, right. You're trying to cross, think of what would be something good for you? The Rhine. You'd be trying to cross the Rhine. Here, as right there, yes. So this is the drainage system of the Silver Mountains, right? So all the water comes down this side from the melting snows and everything else. So it's like the main funnel. This is a massive river. So the best way to do would be to continue heading north. Unless you'd like to wave down a passing boat. You could do that.
Hang on, I might have... Oh, I do have a spell. A spell that can help us.
She says, excellent. I look
I'm not
forward
going
to.
crazy on it.
I look forward to seeing what it does tomorrow. We're going to cut the recording right here, and we're going to wake up with Adrian on the shore doing the spell. And we will see you folks in the next video. Bye.